Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm diving into the catastrophic impact of the recent atmospheric rivers and high surf events pummeling California's central and northern coasts, with a focus on Santa Cruz County. As a disaster analyst, I'll break down the meteorological drivers, the devastating damage, and the critical response efforts, while highlighting the alarming data behind this coastal crisis. On Monday, December 16th, 2024, powerful waves driven by a series of atmospheric rivers battered the California coast, causing a 150-foot section of the Santa Cruz Wharf to collapse into the Pacific Ocean. This wasn't just any storm. These atmospheric rivers, marching across the Pacific, have brought relentless moisture, dangerous winds, and monster waves, with forecasts predicting wave heights up to 60 feet along Northern California's shores. In Santa Cruz County, waves have already reached 20 feet, while the Bay Area is seeing swells nearing 30 feet. These are not just numbers, they signal a destructive force capable of reshaping coastlines and endangering lives. The Santa Cruz Wharf, a historic structure, was already under repair from prior storm damage when the collapse occurred. 3 city personnel were on the pier, inspecting its safety, when it gave way. Thankfully, no serious injuries were reported. But the sight of a 150-foot chunk of the wharf floating away in the ocean is a stark reminder of this storm's power. Mayor Fred Keeley expressed deep concern, noting that the ongoing coastal storm could claim even more of the wharf in the coming days. High surf advisories are in place through Tuesday, covering the entire Pacific coast, home to over 2.5 million people. Waves up to 35 feet are expected, with the potential for even larger 60-foot swells in Northern California. The human toll has been heartbreaking. On Monday, at Sunset State Beach, a man lost his life after a large wave trapped him beneath debris. First responders arrived around 11:30 am. But despite their efforts, he was pronounced dead at a local hospital. His identity remains unreleased. At Marina State Beach, another man was swept into the Pacific around noon. Strong currents and massive waves forced authorities to abandon the search after 2 hours, leaving him missing as conditions worsened. Further south, at Pebble Beach, another person was swept off the rocks, and the search was suspended due to hazardous waters. The Coast Guard plans to resume recovery efforts once conditions improve. The crisis didn't stop there. Near Bodega Bay, 3 people were swept off land by a powerful wave at Scotty's Creek. 2 were carried 150 yards upstream, with one clinging to a log and another to rocks. All 3 were rescued, but 2 required hospital treatment. These incidents highlight the deadly unpredictability of this storm. The National Weather Service has warned that waves can crash far beyond the usual waterline, catching people off guard. Their message is clear: stay away from the beaches. The risk to life is real, and rescue operations put first responders in danger. Multiple water rescues have unfolded across Santa Cruz County. On Sunday, lifeguards and the Central Fire District saved a surfer in distress at New Brighton State Beach. On Monday, another rescue at Sunset Beach saved a person trapped under debris. Though they sustained injuries, the Central Fire District reported at least 2 additional rescues near Live Oak and Capitola beaches. In Capitola, waves pounded the boardwalk, with the swell not even at its peak. The National Weather Service shared a chilling video of these waves, urging people to avoid the water to prevent further tragedies. The meteorological data paints a grim picture. According to the National Weather Service, This is the largest swell of the year, peaking late Monday with wave heights far exceeding typical coastal conditions. Cindy Palmer, a meteorologist with the NWS, noted that the combination of atmospheric rivers and a strengthened jet stream is driving this extreme weather. Significant rainfall is also expected through Tuesday, raising concerns about minor flooding and small landslides in Sonoma County's north and west regions. The storm's intensity has caught even weather experts by surprise, a sobering reminder of Mother Nature's unpredictability. Infrastructure damage is extensive. The collapsed section of the Santa Cruz Wharf, including a restroom, has already washed ashore and is being battered by waves. Debris, including pilings, poses ongoing risks to beachgoers, prompting the closure of beaches around the wharf. In Capitola, the swell threatens further damage to coastal structures. At Ventura Pier, officials preemptively closed the structure, fearing its beams could snap under the wave assault. State parks like Sunset and New Brighton have either closed or bolstered lifeguard presence to manage the rough surf. These closures reflect the severity of the situation and the need to prioritize public safety. The response efforts are robust but stretched thin. Santa Cruz Police, fire departments, and state park officials have been working tirelessly, conducting rescues and monitoring conditions. The Central Fire District and California State Parks have been pivotal in saving lives. But the scale of the crisis is overwhelming. The Coast Guard and California Highway Patrol's air unit joined searches at Marina State Beach, but worsening conditions forced them to stop. Local authorities are urging residents to avoid coastal areas and respect beach closures. Santa Cruz City. Manager Matt Huff emphasized the need for caution, noting that debris from the wharf could wash ashore for days. From an analytical perspective, this event underscores critical vulnerabilities. The Santa Cruz Wharf's collapse highlights the fragility of aging coastal infrastructure in the face of increasingly severe storms, likely exacerbated by climate change. The forecasted 60-foot waves are a rare and extreme phenomenon, driven by a combination of atmospheric rivers and a strengthened Pacific jet stream. These conditions align with broader trends of intensifying weather patterns, which demand urgent upgrades to coastal defenses and early warning systems. The loss of life at Sunset State Beach and the missing persons at Marina and Pebble Beach are tragic reminders of the human cost when warnings go unheeded. For those in affected areas, the advice is clear: stay away from the coast. High surf warnings extend from Santa Barbara to the Oregon border, and conditions remain hazardous. Prepare emergency kits with food, water, medicine, and flashlights for at least 3 days. Charge communication devices and avoid flooded areas where debris and strong currents pose hidden dangers. Monitor updates from the National Weather Service and local authorities for the latest advisories. This storm is a wake-up call. The resilience of communities and first responders is inspiring, but it's not enough. We need systemic solutions, stronger infrastructure, better forecasting, and community education to mitigate future disasters. To everyone on California's central and northern coasts, stay safe, stay vigilant, and let's hope for a swift recovery.